Good morning, everyone. This is Tae-sung Choi. Thank you very much for attending this second seminar for the title Road Logistics in Korea. I think we invited one of the professor in Lao University. So he will present your country's road logistics situation and implications. But in my time, I will bring some insights and current situation in Korea logistics, especially in road sectors. So this presentation consists of three parts. One is the road infrastructure thing in Korea. Why I put this slide in here is that logistics in terms of a road sector, it should be supplemented by road infrastructure. So I will explain some of much time in here, and then I will talk about the logistic situation like internet-based e-commerce and the special economic zone in Korea, like a Bangtao dry port in your countries. And second part is all about the logistic in the sector of road. But I will focus on logistic facilities like logistic terminal. Your Director General said ICD, something else. And then recent trends like smart logistics in Korea, we will share. And then I will put last slide for implications for the logistics in road sectors. So first thing about the background and motivation, but I put a lot of the English words in here. You guys have the Lao language version, but the reason I put very long sentences in here, when I talk to in English, this PPT version, I'm a little bit of concerned about if it can be delivered exactly. So I put everything in here, but you don't need to read in this time. I will say in easy English word for your understanding. Do you know why road infrastructure is important? Road is the core infrastructure to connect from the one station to another station. Since if we want to put another transportation mode like a railway and airline or vessel, it costs a lot and it takes a lot of time. But the land transportation in terms of road infrastructure is quite easy to construct and less cost. So in Korea, we actually after Korean War in 1950, we were the poorest country in the world. So, but in 1990, we joined the OECD, Organization for Economic Development and Cooperation. And then 2009, we joined the Development Assistance Committee. It's like a donor country ever. But the reason we succeed, like we can say, but the reason is that we, at that time, 40 or 50 years ago, we invested a road infrastructure first, since we have small land area rather than Europe or America or other big country. It's like our land size is half of the Lao PDRs. So we need to focus on our budget, if we can choose like a road infrastructure first. We don't have any natural resources. We don't have petroleum, natural gas, even gold or whatever things. But we only have human and land. That's all. At that time in 1960s, our countries was the fullest countries. If we want to grow our country, we need to import everything like a raw material and then processing and assembling something else and then export. But for making competitiveness for our product at that time, we need good road infrastructure for decreasing logistic costs. That's why we started a road logistic first, and then former President Park Chung-hee, he has a good insight to which transportation mode will be the most important thing in our nation. He decided to expressway is the good way to decrease logistic costs. So in 1960s, like after Korean War, we just have transportation infrastructure, road and railway. But if we want to take the railway from Seoul to Busan, it takes 15 hours. 15 hours. Why I am emphasizing 15 hours? Nowadays in Korea, with high-speed rail, we just take 4 hours. So it's like at that time, we don't have any transportation infrastructure, but the policymaker think which transportation mode will be the important in Korea with restricted budget. So we don't have much capital at the time. So, but I talked to you, our land size is small. For like in transportation competitiveness, road infrastructure is competitive, has competitiveness rather than a railway less than 200 kilometers. But the high-speed railway, in terms of high-speed railway, 200 kilometers to 500 kilometers. But I talked to you from Seoul to Busan, it only like less than 500 kilometers. So at that time, so we don't have any option. We just choose which transportation mode will be efficient in logistic cost. I talked to you, our country is export lead countries. Our trade dependency of other countries, like these days, almost 70%. Why? Or why it is important? China or USA, they just 20 to 30%. We don't have any natural resource. We should export to importing process. So this is the major reason we developed the road infrastructure. So in 1960s, former President Park, he decided to construct the Gyeongbu Expressway. Gyeongbu Express, the first expressway in the nation. What is important? This is Gyeongbu Expressway is from Seoul to Busan. It only takes 2.5 years for construction. These days, if we want to construct this size of expressway, we need more than 6 or 7 or 8 years, much like 2 times, 3 times more. But at that time, our country's economic situation and political situation is led by the government, so it can be possible. So after completing Gyeongbu Expressway 1970, I think, 1970. But after this Gyeongbu Expressway, several similar expressways are constructed, Yeongdong, Namhae, or some of them. But at that time, like 1980s, like mid-1980s, the expressway construction was sluggish since at that time policymaker thinks now we are enough. But our Korea economic growth is going fastly going up. That means people needs a personal vehicle. So personal vehicle means use roads. They want to go to another place, take a leisure or some sightseeing, something else. It means they have some traffic congestion during the travel time. So that's why expressway construction is keeping going. This is the picture of former President Park. He he's drawing a picture like a Seoul to Busan, like an expressway. But we need to talk about a little bit time for expressway, highways difference. Expressway is a tolling system with limited interchange. Like if you want to use expressway, you should go the entering point, and then you need to go out exiting point. But national highway has a lot of the entering and exit points, so it's totally different. So expressway has like I think these days more than 120 kilometer, like designed speed. But but highway is usually 80 or 90 kilometer, but it cannot be fully speed with many entering and exit point. That's the totally different. But his thinking is that if we have a good expressway, we can decrease the logistic cost. Since I talked to you, we don't have any natural resource. We should export our product in the world using the, this is the sea. Like we have a three-side sea, 동해, 서해, 남해, like. But we should export everything in the world. In that case, we need to decrease our logistic cost to make our product more competitiveness rather than products in other countries. So we decide to road infrastructure is the major important things in logistics sector. So what we need for this, we need to make a good plan in the nation. Since policymaker can think about if a policymaker has a good plan, they will execute, they will perform hardware-oriented projects. Like, so we did in 1985, the first national road construction network master plan, something else for Indonesia. So after 10 years, every 5 years, we did this kind of thing. So nowadays our expressway length is almost 5,000 kilometers. But at that time, 1970, we only had 500 kilometers. So the plan is important, but after making plan, we should check like hardware-oriented plan is performed or not. So in the road construction master plan, it has goals like increase the efficiency and accessibility and systematicity. But I think that two major things are important. So efficiency, for increasing efficiency, the shortest routes should be selected, like for production or consumption major reasons, and then for accessibility, the peoples in the nation, they need to access the expressway like within 30 minutes. How many? Like at that time in 1970s, only 14%, but nowadays more than 70, almost 80% can access expressway. So that means 80% of our people can use expressway wherever they are in, and then they can go to fast wherever they want. In the road construction plan to make arterial road network, we design some scientific method like in the nation, we divide our nation some grid type. So 132 like zone. So after making zone, we point like a terminal point, some terminal point in the zone, and then we calculate the shortest routes from some origin to a destination. If we calculate, we can get the traffic density. So traffic density with each route, and then the traffic route with its route, we can choose which route will be for long distance traffic. So in the master plan, we chose less than 10% of total road length. This is some processes for making or constructing our arterial road network. Okay, sure. Like this is the grid type, and for example, like we divided 132 traffic zone, a travel zone, and then we have a terminal point, and then, for example, this terminal point and this terminal point, we make shortest route, like something like this route. So someday, with the budget, this road line will be constructed, something else like. So this is the Korea's map and with road network, but this is old map, like in 2000 year. So, but the black line is road line existed, but like a colored line, like a plan or like a making. But if you look at this map, we have a grid type of road expressway network. Do you know why it is important? So we want to decentralize the national growth. Like if somebody in Pakse or if somebody in Vientiane, they need to have equal access to expressway. So this is like ideal point in our road master plan. So, and then especially I talked to you in the previous time, like 30 minutes within 30 minutes within the express network. So I talked to another picture, but I'll talk to you later. But this is the kind of things. Okay, so. What is the effect of expressway? Like in Korea, officially, we calculate the savings of traveling cost, traveling cost, and operation cost. I think some research after completing Gyeongbu Expressway, it makes economic effect like 5 to 7% of our GDP. That means totally is US dollar is 120 billion US dollar. And then the next thing is the indirect impact of highway expressway construction is. I talked to you in 1970s, we only had 500 kilometers, but nowadays, 2020, this is 2017, 2020, like almost 5,000 kilometers. But with these lengths, our nation's people can access expressway. At the time, less than 15%, but nowadays more than 70%. And then if somebody like Vientiane or Pakse or everywhere, their traveling time was improved in 1970 to current day, like 60% more. So this is the quite direct and indirect effect. Okay, so I brought the two pictures. This is from 1970 to current day. This is our road network at the time, the police one. So Seoul to Busan and 500 approximately kilometers. But after every 10 years, our road expressway road network like fastly increasing, like this side and something. Current is almost the grid type of expressway road network. Okay, so with this road network, expressway road network, we have like improved some of factors. Like I talked to you, average travel time in wherever the people are in. They are at the access mobility was improved, like in 1970 to 2020, like more than 60%. And then this is the accessibility within 13 minutes in the nation's people. So nowadays, they can access expressway within 13 minutes with 70 more than people. And I put this slide and next slide, but those slides are quite related to this topic. But the reason I put some of them here are in Korea, I think next week. So you can have a technical tour in mass transportation in Seoul area. So I put. So actually in Korea, road type has seven things like national expressway, national highway, and provincial city, district, or something else. But in the city, like nowadays, road infrastructure, I mean the length, new construction for road infrastructure in the urban area, in the city, like a capital area or like a big city, it's not impossible since there is no land. There is no land, or not one major reason. And the other reason is relocation is issue. Like if we want to make a new road, we need to relocate some other facility like a commercial building or residential building or whatever things. But this is not possible. So what the policymaker are gonna do, they are gonna do like a transportation management policy, like with a fixed road infrastructure. They make efficiency of the operation or management of transportation system, like for increasing or making good mass transportation, public transportation. Seoul metropolitan area, Seoul local government introduced this centered exclusive bus lane centered on the road. Why is it? What does it mean? Bus can have like a timely mobility, like a subway. This road lane can only have access by the bus. A personal vehicle or motorcycle cannot use. So Seoul City chose this system. But only this hardware system? No. We need real-time data for customers like you and me. If I want to take the bus on time, I need the information. So they use a GPS with the bus, and they provide. I mean the bus supplier or government, local government, to provide real-time data for operation of bus. This is the one of the good benchmarking example in Korea. So you guys will see in Korea, I think. Yeah. I will explain about the logistic situation in couple of slides. So this is the statistical data for logistic in Korea, like companies, employees, and sales. Before the 2000, our economy is fastly growing. Like economic growth rate is 5 to 7% or something else. But nowadays, like less than 3%. But logistics sector is accompanied with the nation's economic growth. Of course, if you want to make some added value, we need to use some transportation like a logistic. I talked to you, we don't have any natural resource. That means making, assembling final product. We need to export. That means who am I going to do? Who are you going to do? Like logistics sector. So logistics sector is quietly close to related with national economic growth. But these days, several reasons, World War, like Ukraine, or some other supply shock, something else that is going down. So this is the interest rate and construction cost. At that time, in Corona pandemic, during I think 2022, almost 1 year ago, like a 2020 period, like 3 years. At that time, if we want to consume our food, our clothes, or something necessity, daily necessity, we hesitate to go to supermarket, right? So in Korea, what happened? They ordered everything in the e-commerce, like on the online. So what happens? Logistics sectors, logistic industries demand is high demand. That means we need what? Warehouse, logistic facilities. So at that time, we tried to make a lot of logistic facilities, warehouse or terminal or whatever thing. But nowadays, supply shock was decreased. So it's like occupancy rate is getting less and less. It makes a problem. So these days, like it like make like a cycle, going up, going down, going up, going down. But nowadays, like after going up, these days going down. It's like similar in the world. So I will talk about the e-commerce market in Korea. Okay, 1990s in Korea, like in other countries, the same. The computer is widely used, and then with internet, consumers can access to order food, daily necessities, something that they want on online. But what's going on in Korea now? At that time, like 30 years ago, 40 years ago, if I have my own store near to my housing or a residential area, I'm rich. I'm very rich. But these days, these supermarket things cannot be like survive, since everybody click on online whatever they want on like daily necessary or food or clothes, everything. So this is the one of the trend in the world. And then even we can order like you in Laos use WeChat, right? WeChat Messenger. In Korea, like we have this kind of messenger, KakaoTalk. In KakaoTalk, we can shop, we can order the food. We can order some necessity we need. So these kind of things happen. So shopping trend is changed. So this is the statistic data, like online shopping is almost 40% in the market, but I think more than 40%. Even for me, I didn't go to a supermarket or big mart, since I can click items I want, and logistics supplier will deliver it to my home. So this is quite convenient for customers. This is a new trend in Korea. I think the populated or urbanization area, I think. I will talk about the special economic zone in Korea. In Laos, there are special economic zone, of course, in Campask province also. We have three little bit different concepts: free trade zone, free economic zone, foreign investment zone. It's quite similar, but the reason we classify those three is that they like have some little different requirements for foreign companies. So that's why we classify. But initially, in 1970s, we introduced special export zone. Since I talked to you, exporting is our nation's destiny. So special export zone. But after some period, we thought it need to be a change. It need to be focused more broadly, like trade or not only focusing on manufacturing, like logistics or like more broader things. So they change like special trade. So it's free trade zone. And then what is a free economic zone? Free economic zone is more general, like foreign companies for research, hospital, medicine, broadcasting, education, whatever things, they can do their own business in free economic zone, like a free economic zone. Free economic zone, our nation is 17 provinces of metropolitan area. So I think many of the regions have free economic zones. That is a major different thing. And this is the incentives for our special economic zone summarized. Actually, free economic zone and free trade zones and has same legal basis. The reason they are almost similar, but the requirements are a little bit different. And free investment zones is like a more classified in terms of requirements, but the tax reduction is almost same, like corporate income tax, like exemption 3 years 100%, and after 3 years 2 years and 50% reduction, something else. So and then the rent fee is the officially announced building price or logistic price is less than 1%. It is almost same, but we have like a little bit different concept of the special economic zones terminologies. So now we are talking about the cargo volume or by transportation mode, okay? This is road sector. I talked to you for logistic terms. Road sector is the most important thing in Korea. I talked to you, our land size is very small, so we chose road is the perfect way to transport our products. So nowadays, 96% of product, a freight volume was transported by the road, but less of them, small size railway, 3.5%. This is like our destiny. You know, our country is here, South Korea. Where is North Korea? Here. We cannot use railway systems through this way, right? So we can, I'm talking about the domestic thing here, but international logistics is totally different, of course. For international logistics, we use sea, like a vessel, and airline, of course, airport and airline. So this is the definition of classification of logistic facility in Korea. Next two slides also. Conceptually and theoretically, we define the unit logistic facility and cluster and linkage. The unit logistic facility means like a distribution center, just one, but cluster logistic facilities more, this logistic facility has more high function, like a logistic terminal or inland container depot. I will explain those two concepts later more. But and then linkage logistic facilities with intermodal or multimodal transportation, like this facility use truck logistic with a railroad or vessel or airline. So this is like a little bit a different concept. And then I want to talk about my time more about how we can develop or authorize a logistic facility in the nation or in the local area. At that time, until 2014, Korea has central government have power, like somebody developer want to make a logistic facility in Pakse. In Pakse, they should go to the BNTN and like Dr. Punta's minister, okay, and say that can we make a logistic facility? And they have like their own national database, like in the future, how many logistics facility will be in need, something else controlled in central government. But nowadays changed after 2014. The major reason is that it's like it can be like in timely manner to response since so and then plus at that time our central government their power to send the local government. So this is like combined. So after 2014, so if developer want to construct a new logistic facility like in Pakse, they just go to the local government like a DPWT and they say we would like to make construct a logistic facility in here, and they calculate how much demand will be in need in the future logistic freight like in here or around the country, and they make the DPWT decide the size or the size of employees whatever things. So this is a little bit changed in Korea. And those two slides about the definition of logistic facility in our Logistic Development and Management Act in Korea. No, I'm just saying the act, but in Korea, when the logistics sector is important, what we need for that industry, they need their own law. I think in Laos, whenever I look at the laws provided in English version in Laos, they don't have a specific logistic related law. When I look at it, I'm not sure nowadays, but if logistics sector grows, increase, and more, they need their own law. Since this is a separate like a sector, rather than transportation sector. So what we did in Korea after in like 1990, I talked to you, logistics sector is bigger and bigger after in 1990. Our government tried to make logistic related law like a logistic facility act, logistic basic policy act, something else. So nowadays we have this kind of system. So this is one of a small part. So if developer or researcher or like normal people wants to, what is the logistic facility mean? If they want, but by the law, it defines specifically. It's like that. So what I'm emphasizing is that if logistic industry wants to increase in the nation, they need to have their own law in the future. This is the concept of the logistic facility in the law. And I will talk about a little bit more time for logistic terminal, a little bit. So logistic terminal has a function of majorly, like if logistic provider get to logistic terminal, and then they process fastly, and then designate some load network to transport this freight. This is the major the function in logistic terminal. So in Korea, we set up the 33 logistic terminal, like in the nation. In Seoul has 3 logistic terminal. I think some of them in next week will visit in one technical site, like CJ Daehan, CJ Korea Expressway Upper Way. So when you come to the logistic terminal, you can see the automated logistic process. Of course, there are human, of course, but the major process like sorting or some of the things are automated since our nations are small and of course, peoples are many, but they want to do this kind of job. So they want to be hired in the service sector or a knowledge-based sector. So who am I going to do? Machine. All the high-tech can be replaced of this area. So this is like a thing. And then if we like this kind of job, like make workers, make safety issues. Sometimes it's like injured or even dead. Some cases it's like happen. So they try to change the trend. So logistic terminals are like these days advanced and in transition. Oh, we talk about the logistic terminal. Now I want to talk about the inland logistic bases. It consists of ICD, inland container depot, and then integrated freight terminal in Korea. So what is the difference between ICD? ICD is more related to international logistics, like seaport. So in Bangtao Dry Port, in here. So it's like a function is provide every one-stop services like custom clearance, loading, unloading, processing, assembly, distributing, transport, whatever things. But same thing is happen integrated freight terminal. But the integrated freight terminal is mainly proposed for domestic things. So this is quite different. And in Korea, there are 5 major area for logistic facilities. Capital area in Seoul, Incheon, Gyeonggi, and Busan area. Busan port is the 4th busiest port in the world. So and Honam, Central, Yeongnam. So we have 5 regions. The capital region has Uwang ICD and Gumpo IFT. I think some of them will visit in this Uwang ICD in Korea. So if you go to this facility, it's like you can see a lot of containers. The Uwang ICD processes 1.3 million TEU container. One container units TEU, so 1.3 million TEUs. For whom? Seoul, Incheon, Gyeonggi provinces area. I said our population, almost half of them live in the capital region. It's like a Vientiane. Vientiane has like 1 million people almost, right? So it's very big. So in Korea, it's okay. Anyway, so in ICD, another different thing ICD is that ICD has a multimodal transportation mode, like a railway, or I don't think the airline directly, but railway is plus. So in Korea, our railroad system is more like prone to passenger, not freight. I talked to you almost freight volume transport by road sector, right? So our highway speed is for like a more like a passenger. But some of the facility, like I say not highway speed, a general train or freight train can be used for a freight volume. So it's like in our country, road-centric infrastructure rather than railway-centric transport. Since some of the limitation, land size and disconnected because of North Korea, and we need to have our destiny to export using 3 Cs. I want to talk about a little bit time for a specific case of Yeongnam logistic complex, but I'm not talking about detailed things, but The reason I brought those 3 slides in here is that logistic facility should be based on demand forecasting exactly. So if we fail this demand forecasting, like occupation rate is decreasing, right? So, and then another thing we need to think about is that this facility should be combined with other major transportation facility infrastructure like expressway road infrastructure or railway or even port or airport. And then if there is another complex, like in Korea, we have industrial complex. In industrial complex, it can operate or it can make a logistic facility also. That means if a similar facility, similar complexes near to each other, it can like make demand in needs. So what happened in some of the inland logistic bases, excluding capital area and Busan, they have some of the not using occupant rate, like occupancy rate is low. Since the reason is that demand forecasting is like a failed. So for what we can do for occupancy rate increasing, we need to make a new demand, like we bring new companies in the world. I don't know, so which companies will be appropriate in inland logistics spaces, but that is the one way. And for doing that, we can provide administrative and financial incentives. Like I talked to you, special economic zone in cases in Korea. This is the one of the solution. So demand forecasting, if failed, we need to bring a new demand. But I talked to you, the regions inland logistic facilities is not quite operated fully. But they made at the time these facilities in the future's demand, but these future's demands are working exactly. I think this problem is quite similar to Bangtao Dry Port. Bangtao Dry Port also is like operated fully, like from the foreign like shipment or transshipment or whatever things, right? So it's the same in Korea, but in difference, like dry port in Vientiane, it's more actively, right? This is like a demand in domestic, demand in international logistics. And this is the urban advanced logistic complex, especially in Seoul cases. This facility is not constructed yet. This is just like a picture. Oh, not working, good. Picture. I think in 2028 will be completed, they say. I'm not sure, but I will invite maybe later in CBP program in Korea. You guys can see this nice facility. Do you think this is like a logistic facility? This is a logistic facility. This logistic facility is like 7 underground floor, 25th above ground floors. Everything is in this building is automated and with high-tech technologies. Usually, logistic facilities needs long land size to enter and exit a truck. But with the high-tech and limitation of land size in Seoul metropolitan area, they like make a building going down and going up. And this is happen not in Korea. This is happen in dense populated area in city, like a big city, in metropolitan city, of course. The reason this facility should be introduced in populated region is that nowadays people want to take more like advanced job, not labor intensive job. So they don't have any labor to do sort or loading, unloading job for logistics sector. So this is like a kind of like a periodic change in the world. Like we are now doing more accepting AI or advanced technology. That means we need this kind of facility. I think someday in Vientiane or Pakse should be, okay? This is the Smart Logistics Center. I will talk about the regulation thing first. In Korea, I recently introduced a Smart Logistics Center certification process. What is this? Is that government wants the logistic company to develop or introduce or research high technology for logistics sector. But how can they do? They can just say, you need to do. They don't like do that, okay? The government needs to give something for them. So it's like price and something else. Like if logistic company develop or apply to high-tech technology in logistic facility, they can be certified by some public agency in Korea. So it's like first grade, second grade, first to fifth grade divided. But anyway, but what the government do for the certified logistic company, they give some money for if logistic company bring new technology in the logistic facility, they need to borrow the money, right? So it at that times it makes interest rate, right? So government support 2% interest rate for the company. This is happening. So many of logistic company in Korea are trying to certify for Smart Logistics Center. And this is some of the cases, but this is the automatic classification system. Like you can see human in here. Of course, still human is in here. Robots cannot do this kind of things, not currently, but sorting systems is like automated, sure. And this is the waybill attacher by the machine. This processor can be automated by some technology. This is like one piece of the example. If you, I didn't have any experience yet, but we have a big major courier company, CJ Daehantongun. CJ Daehantongun has a mega terminal in Yongin and in some area. This facility is the automated and biggest facility in Asia. So they use all automation process. So this is one kind of example. But later we might talk about. So this is a Smart Logistics Center. Okay. So I will talk about the fulfillment service in logistics. Fulfillment service mean in dictionary like doing something else for me. So it's like in logistics sector outsourcing. So fulfillment service these days currently in trend in the nation, in Korea I'm talking. The reason is that somebody wants to operate or sales some products, clothes or food or something else. They don't own the logistic function or company, since very specialized logistic companies there are in Korea. So they can just use with fulfillment service. So one case, if me, like you, operate in small and medium-sized enterprise, they cannot, own the logistic service company or function itself. So they outsource this function to logistic companies. So this is a kind of a trend. Why this is possible? This is like a technology development, since supplier, logistic company can trace or can think about the inventory management with data, and they can decrease the cost of the stock size. I mean the stock and transportation cost in a timely manner. So this is I want to talk about fulfillment service, and this is one example by not in Korea, by Amazon. If a vendor wants to sell something in Amazon, they just need to focus on sales. Their product to send to the Amazon's logistic facility, and they do. If somebody else order my thing in Amazon, they can manage everything like packaging and transporting to the customer. It's happening in Korea, in the world. What we need for road logistics in Laos, I think for logistics sectors to increase their added value, do you think in advanced countries, not my country, USA or maybe China, Europe, they have good infrastructure, transportation infrastructure, right? So for logistics, good transportation infrastructure is necessary. But which transportation mode will you guys will support? You need to decide. But you need to decide. In our Korea, we decide road sector. Road infrastructure focus on developing for logistics sector. So it's like we cannot do both of them. It's possible, a lot of money. It's not possible. Or with a limitation of budget, we need to focus on developing which transportation model will be best for our logistics sector. This is one thing I would lastly say, okay? So thank you very much for your time. Thank you. 갑자기. Yeah.